Hey, my name's Phil the Cruz. Cruising with Phil. Happy New Year. My first guest back from the New Year's. I mean, we're looking forward to this guy. I've been following this guy for like 3 years. I'm a big fan of his, Mr. Mark Mcilyar. How you doing, Mark? Thanks for coming to the show. I really appreciate it.
Doing good, doing good.
Good. So, how you doing?
Well, do you want the long story or the real short
No,
story?
no, you tell me the whole long story. We were talking
No, I'm
earlier.
going to keep it short so we can talk about other things. We don't
Okay,
have
sure. Yeah.
limited time.
Great. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, just for all your guys watching, all you fitness guys, I mean, I'm kind of in the industry. I mean, I enjoy my job, and part of my job is staying fit and motivating other guys. Well, guess what? The last 2 months, I felt terrible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And so, just real quick, I got COVID 2 months ago for the fourth time. All right. So for some reason, my immune system doesn't like COVID and it kicks my ass.
I remember you moved when you moved to Texas. You had COVID too, right? Last time we
Yeah,
talked. So yeah.
2 years I
Yeah.
got it for the first time.
Mhm.
Severe, horrible sore throat. Um, and this fourth time wasn't nearly as bad, but it lingered with me for like 2 months. So I felt
Yeah.
tired and weak and by all right. Well, on top of that, a month ago, 1 month after catching COVID, a month ago, I had heart surgery. So I got diagnosed with AFib last summer, which is just an electrical issue. My heart physically is in real good shape. The arteries look great, everything like that. But one chamber of the heart beats out of sync with the other chambers, and hence it doesn't pump as much blood with each pump as it should. And I asked the doctors, well, hell, did I do something wrong growing up? Or did I? He said, no, it has nothing to do with exercise or nutrition. He goes,
Oh.
it's total genetics, just luck.
Hmm.
And so the good thing is it was a fairly easy fix. So a month ago, they went into my heart, kind of like they're putting a stent in. They go up through a vein in your groin, but a stent's pretty quick. They're in and out pretty quick. This, they had to kill all these little areas in this one chamber that were causing that chamber to fire. These are
Mhm.
little areas of tissue with nerve endings in them. And it took 4 hours. I was under for 4 hours. But they send you home at the end of the day. It's
Right,
out.
right. That's
So
so weird.
it's a long time, kind of dangerous, being under for that long.
Well, how'd you
But
know you had how'd you know would you feeling your heart, something wrong with your heart that you had to go for
okay, so
test?
guys watching this, and I talked to my Facebook group and our YouTube channel about this. My symptoms were I was just really out of breath and
Mhm.
tired. And I would try to do cardio and I couldn't do it. I couldn't jog a quarter of a mile slow without having to stop.
Hmm.
Um, and so I was still going to the gym and working out because when you're pushing weights, you do 10 reps and you stop and rest in between
Mhm.
sets. Well, how long does 10 reps take? I don't know, 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I could do that. But if it was a big muscle group, like I was doing leg presses or something like that, squats, where you're using a lot of muscles, I would be out of breath for a minute
Hmm.
after the set. So I first noticed this when I was playing golf in Colorado at high altitude, 9,000 feet, with my brother and some other buddies. And they were noticing that I was always out of breath and they weren't. And they don't exercise. So that was the symptom, guys. If you get easily out of breath when you normally shouldn't be, or I was tired all the time. I was taking naps during the day and things like that. I was really beat, worn down, didn't have energy, and didn't really know what was going on. I've also been diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Oh,
A
really?
little.
Okay.
So all this has just happened to me. I'm 61 now, so all this has happened to me in the last 2 years. Um, so I sleep with a CPAP machine now. With a thing in your nose.
Yeah.
Looks goofy, it's a pain in the butt, but it works. Get much better sleep. But that AFib, I didn't know I had it. And I probably have had it for 2 years.
Yeah, you could have, yeah, you would have noticed, right? You
No,
thought
I
maybe
didn't
just
really know.
overworking or whatever.
I just knew my cardio was just terrible.
Wow.
And I wasn't really consciously thinking about it. I was like, well, I just got to try harder. And so last summer, I was trying to run, and you kind of work your way up because I don't run during the winter. I like running outside when it's hot.
Yeah.
So every spring I start again. And so it took me 3 months of just barely running real short distances, very slow, just to get up so I could run 1 mile
Wow.
at a very slow pace. And I'm used to running, 2, 3 miles at, a 9 minute pace. I could only run 1 mile at 10-minute pace and dying.
And that's it, you're done.
Yeah. So
So,
that's, so that's, I should have known something was wrong. But the thing is, a lot of the times, guys, these things creep up on you real slowly, like my sleep apnea.
yeah.
I probably had that for close to 3 years,
Oh yeah.
and just got my CPAP machine 1 year ago.
Wow.
So I was waking up in the morning, exhausted, tired, eat breakfast, read the news, take a nap at 10:30 in the morning.
That's it.
So guys, I shoot videos on this, and you think everything's okay, but it creeps. It's like putting the frog in the warm water, and you
Yeah,
slowly
yeah.
turn
A
up the
little
temperature.
each, a little each way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the frog doesn't know it's boiling because it
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it raise the temperatures real.
You just
Same
kept
thing
putting it.
happened with me. It doesn't just start day one. It just very, very gradually
Yeah.
gets worse and worse.
So how do you feel now? Better?
Ton better.
Yeah.
So the surgery was a month ago. The doc says it takes 1 to 3 months for it to kick in and start working. Well, it's been 1 month,
Yeah.
and I've tested the last 3 days with this little device.
Yeah.
You just put your fingers on here, and it talks to your phone, and it tells you if you're in AFib or not, because you can go in and out
Oh,
of
it's
AFib.
incredible. Wow.
Yeah, so the last 3 days I've tested negative,
Oh, good.
and I've noticed at the gym when I go to work out, I'm not as out of breath after every set.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
Wow. Good for you. Wow.
it's starting to work, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting back
Yeah.
into cardio routine as things warm up here in Texas in the next couple of months, and
So let's go back to we'll go back to your story now. Like I've been following you for a while now, and so you're always physically fit. You're always working out. I mean, you weren't into the weights back then as much now, but like what got you into putting on the muscle? You decided to like just add on the extra muscle and all.
I've always enjoyed working out. I started when I was 20, and I was living in Austin going to college, and there was one gym in the entire city. So this was 1982, and back in the early 80s, gyms were just weird. I mean, they were
Yeah,
new. They weren't everywhere like they are today
yeah,
in the United States, at least. And so there was one gym, and it was hardcore. It was great.
that's
And
good.
and I've pretty much stuck with it. I'll have periods in my life where, especially when I was younger, I was playing a lot of basketball after work, and so I might, go a couple of months without lifting, but on and off. Golf will become more important for a few months, and I'll kind of slack on the weights. But I enjoy it, and I enjoy the way it makes you feel and look. And then I got into this industry though just 7 years ago. So that's when I really became, really focused on helping other guys as opposed to just working out for myself.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask you a question. Maybe it gets a question. When you have a goal, like you want to put on the extra muscle, add on, you have an image of what you want to look like as a result. So were you surprised, like when you started working out and as you gradually got bigger with the muscles, were you surprised at how the turnout was for yourself?
Um, I wasn't surprised because you know what, guys, adding muscle is slow. It's a very slow process. What's much quicker is losing body fat. And so you can, if you lose a lot of fat, you will instantly look much more muscular,
Hmm.
even though you haven't really put on any muscle. Um, I did a bodybuilding show. That's how I accidentally got into this profession. When I was 49, I'm 61 now. This was a category where you wear board shorts, so you're not out there flexing, and there's no pose. So anyway, I just did it to motivate myself to see how good of a shape I could get in. Well, I lost, 12, 14 pounds of fat, and I just looked ripped. I looked, great. I didn't put on 1 pound of muscle. Matter of fact, I probably lost a pound or two of muscle.
So it was a nice
Literally,
surprise for yourself.
yeah, I was surprised. I didn't think I could do it. But getting down to 6% body fat is what I did for this show. That takes a lot of discipline on the nutrition, big time.
So you got a
Big.
lot of good feedback when you did your result there when the people saw
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Now this is before though I was in the industry. So people didn't, I didn't have YouTube and Facebook, I just had a regular job. But my pics look good.
Look good. Yeah, I saw I've seen the transformation of your pictures on your net there. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's
Thanks.
so cool. So you're the definition of when you look on YouTube, when you type in 60 plus working out or 55 plus, your picture always comes up out of all the
Oh,
bunch.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of nice. As you're following your bio and you're reading what I like about you is that you show that men at senior age or mature age can work out
Okay.
without doing the extra stuff. I've seen your videos about the food you eat and the intakes, and I like how you're all natural, which is nice to see. You know.
Yeah. No. And people don't realize. I mean, the nutrition is so important,
Yeah, I've seen your videos. It's amazing. Yeah,
and
it's
it's
pretty good.
and it's the hardest part. I mean, and the reason is because the working out, you go to the gym or you do it at home, whatever. All you got to do is focus on your workout for what, 30, 45 minutes. You're done for the day.
Yeah,
The nutrition, you got to think about what you put in your mouth from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed at night.
yeah.
And it's just constant, there's cravings. You crave unhealthy food, unfortunately.
Did you give yourself any cheat days during your workout? Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So guys, this is the deal. So if you're trying to lose a lot of fat, it's hard because you're going down. You're consuming fewer calories than you're burning off. Okay, or than you're eating. Excuse me. So so you're always hungry, but once you get down to the body fat where you're happy and you just want to hang out and maintain that, way easier
yeah,
because then you can eat healthy most of the time, then have cheat meals, and you're still breaking even. If
yeah.
you're really trying to lose fat, then having cheat meals is going to kind of stall that fat loss a little bit. I still tell people to have cheat meals, but you can have cheat meals that aren't terrible for you. There's different cheat meals,
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
yeah,
You're going to eat Mexican food, and it's Tex-Mex down here, right?
yeah.
All right, well, there's some really bad Tex-Mex dishes, that you can order, or there's some pretty damn good stuff. You get the fajitas, eat as much of it as you want.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They're
It's
good.
not, yeah, it's nothing but protein and vegetables. Just don't eat 15 tortillas and 100 tortilla chips. You know, that's the stuff. So you can do cheat meals while you're dieting and losing weight.
I was gonna ask you, out of when you're working out, everybody has their weak body parts they want to work out more. For yourself, looking like your physique, what would you say your biggest challenge was? For arms, or your pecs, or your back, for yourself, or
Legs,
legs?
legs,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm 6 feet tall, and for some reason I'm just kind of long legged. So my legs, my brother's little shit dog here that I'm babysitting while he's in Japan. Um, so anyway, my legs are a little bit longer than they should be for my height.
Okay.
I also have real long arms
Oh, you do,
relative
yeah,
to my height.
yeah,
So it means my torso's a little, is an inch shorter than, probably average. It means my legs are an inch longer. And then in addition to that, the way my leg muscles look, they're real small down low by your knees, which is where you see, below your short pants. That's where you
yeah.
see. And then up high, my thigh, up near my groin, my legs are pretty big, but you don't see that.
You don't see it because you got the shorts on. Yeah.
So a few years ago, I used to hit legs really hard,
Good.
but didn't see much progress. And then a few years ago, talking to a young trainer guy, he had a great idea. So I separate my legs into 2 days. I tried doing full leg workouts 2 days a week, but a full leg workout, if I'm doing everything, is an hour and a half. and it's just really kills me. Central nervous system. Can't do that much. So now I do quads really hard, a lot of volume, but just quads on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, I come in and I do just hamstrings and glutes
Okay, cool.
for a lot of volume. But that allows me to hit each part of my leg really hard. If I hit my entire legs really hard Wednesday and do it again, entire legs on Saturday, I don't have enough time to recover.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you. I've got interview or a forum about creatine coming up in February. So I know you're a natural guy with working out and the supplements you take. What's your views on creatine for senior guys? I've seen a few of these videos, like a lot of senior guys, like our I'm 60. I just turned 60 this last year, but I see a lot of guys here. They actually are. I don't know if you've seen them on the Instagram. They actually are selling the creatine with their program, and I don't agree with it myself personally. Like yourself, you're natural. I'm natural. So what do you say about that? You see guys at our age taking the creatine. Is it really necessary to take this?
Well, first of all, taking creatine is natural. I mean, that's not, when people say natural versus not, they're really meaning injectable steroids.
Yeah,
That's the everything else, all the supplements are natural.
all natural, right?
Yeah, they're made from natural ingredients. I mean, your body produces creatine. I've tried taking creatine. I think it works, but for some reason it messes with my stomach and my digestive
Oh,
system.
really? Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah,
It makes me
from
feel
other
just
people.
in my stomach, nothing bothers me. I eat all kinds of spicy foods and jalapenos and Tex-Mex, nothing, no problem. But it makes me,
I'm bloated.
and I'll do it I've tried it several times over the years,
Yeah.
and I have to stop it real quick.
Oh
But
well.
it's perfectly fine for all the guys to do. It's cheap. Um, we don't sell creatine. Creatine is very inexpensive. There's tons of people that make it. So it's really, it's like selling water almost. It's too hard to compete. But
Like yeah, like a bottle of water, right?
yeah, we have some supplements that I'm a believer in simply because we've had so many guys send us emails and write reviews on our website talking about how great their results have been. And I tell guys, I said, I don't think supplements work for everybody. We have some testosterone boosting supplements. We have some greens powders, which is, 40 or 50 ingredients, vegetables, fruits, and some other stuff. Um, and I tell guys, look, it works fantastic for a lot of guys, but some guys see nothing.
I just saw your video the other day about that. You talked about that. You said every body type is different.
Yeah,
Some workouts will be good for your biceps, but other guys will be different, right?
yeah. And it's really, I mean, it's just kind of genetic. Some guys, I mean, I follow a lot of young guys in the health industry, that are jacked and they compete. Some guys, they go into the gym, I mean, it's the same reason why some guys are incredibly fast and some guys are just slow as a dog,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, and so that's just kind of the luck of the draw. Now, partially, I think it's nutrition. Some guys who've got fantastic nutrition, I don't think our greens powder is going to do much for them because they're already getting all those vitamins, minerals, and
Yeah.
nutrients in their daily.
So you're saying natural greens instead of the powder itself, like
What's
natural
that?
spinach. You're saying natural greens like spinach, not the powdered
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, they're eating lots of vegetables, they're eating
Yeah,
fruits, they're getting other vitamins and minerals too, just by eating healthy. My guess is those guys probably are not going to see a lot of results by adding our greens powder supplement,
yeah. Hmm.
but most guys don't eat them very well, right? So
They
it's
don't.
more likely to help those guys. And then there's also the genetic component where you just don't know. And the thing is, I say, guys, we're the only people I know, I think, in the industry that give you a 1 year guarantee on our supplements.
Yeah.
So if you're not seeing results, just send us an email, man. We refund your money.
I got a buddy named Gordon in the military. This is back in the '80s when I was in, and he was all like you said about genetics. He was all muscle. He never worked out his life, right? His whole family was like, even his sister was all muscle. But like I used to be a runner and a wrestler in the military, so I used to run a lot and wrestle and compete. So I trained him to be a runner, and he trained me in the weights. That's how I got back into weights. But it was odd.
Um,
You see this big guy, like he's all muscle, but come running with me, and he couldn't even like run down in like 15 minutes. He was like desert dog, you know. But he's all
isn't that,
genetically that's natural. Never worked out his life, you know.
yep, yep. And I see some guys because I go to the gym to work out, and I go to old school gyms typically. So it's I'm the one of the oldest people in the gym. A lot of guys in their 20s and 30s where I go, even high school kids. It's a big gym, very well equipped, very inexpensive. Anybody can afford it. And man, there's some young kids in there. I saw one kid in there with his shirt off, and he's shorter. He's about 5'7", 5'8". Unbelievable physique. I told him, you got to compete, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy. He was really wide shoulders, tiny little waist. I mean, he probably had a 26-inch waist. Um, and very low body fat, just naturally. He wasn't even dieting. But that's genetics. I mean, he was working out hard, sure, but lots of guys are in there working out hard, don't look like that.
I know. Did he take your advice about maybe competing?
Oh, he was real embarrassed. I don't know, he doesn't work out there very often. He goes to another gym typically, and I see him,
Yeah.
once every 2 weeks.
I got a
So
couple of guys. I had two buddies in another gym I used to go to, and they were like shy. They looked like nice looking muscular bodies, but they'd always wear these sweatshirts. And I say, buddy, take it off. You look good. No, man, I'm too embarrassed. You're embarrassed. You're in a gym. It's very self-conscious about it, but I
yeah,
guess
yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get
Well,
that yet.
a lot of these young kids now have no embarrassment.
No, no, no.
It's hilarious. Now I don't have the balls to do with these are 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and they don't have any kind of a physique. They're just average. And they're flexing and taking pictures, doing this shit in front of the whole damn gym. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, you weigh 150 pounds, I mean, you're not fat, but you're definitely not impressive. They
I
don't
don't, I
care.
don't, I don't know if you ever had this.
They're, they're putting
I'm
it on
working
their,
out. I'm doing like a bench press or an angle bench. So the guy comes. I'm doing right in front of the mirror doing shoulders. This guy comes right in front of me in the mirror, right in front of me. He starts like posing. I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? Like you got the whole mirror over there.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, some people are clueless. They have no gym etiquette. I
He
think
turns
it's I think
he
it's
turns and he
fine for
says,
people.
what's your problem? What's my
Yeah, I think
problem?
it's fine to videotape and all that kind of stuff, but you don't stand right in front of somebody when somebody's using the
I know
mirror.
it's funny. I know. I was gonna ask. I told a lot of guys that you're coming on my show to talk, and the big question was, he asked me, is he coming to Toronto?
Is he what?
Are you coming to Toronto? Have you been to Toronto yet?
Oh no, I've never been to Toronto. Now I've been to Calgary the last 2 summers.
Okay.
Um, I became good friends with one of my clients in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
So six years ago, he sent me a really nice email. I was working for a different company back then, and he sent me a really nice email, said my workout program saved his life. So one of his jobs is in the summer. He's a scuba diver, and he goes under these lakes, and they retrieve sunken vehicles that broke through the ice.
Okay. Wow.
And because Canada doesn't want all the gas and the oil leaking into these
Yeah, yeah,
lakes.
yeah. I used to
So
scuba in the I used to scuba in the Navy.
okay, well that's part of his one
Yeah.
of his jobs. What he does, he owns his business. And so, he's down there for a long time. And he's,
Yeah.
I don't know, 30, 40 feet deep, and he runs out of air. Well, anyway, he almost drowns for several reasons, but he doesn't. But it was so close to drowning that he had to spend 2 days in a hyperbaric chamber.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he sent me this email saying, Mark, I lost all this weight and really got back into good cardio shape. And I would have definitely drowned, never made it to the surface if he hadn't done my program.
Oh,
So
nice.
we actually flew him to see me in Austin. And I shot some videos with him, and we did it was really fun. So we became pen pals
Nice.
for about 5 years. And so finally I said, screw it, I'm coming up to Canada.
Oh, so you come to Canada? Great.
Yeah,
So
which is wonderful to get out of Texas in the summer and go to Canada. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I went to the Calgary Stampede 2 summers
Oh, you
ago.
went to? Oh, yeah. How'd you find that?
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
That was really cool. He took me up into Banff in the mountains, and
Yeah, it's beautiful there. Yeah, Banff is
yeah,
nice.
we had a good time. And then I went back again this summer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So the question is, have you thought about coming to Toronto?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got a big fan base here. I'll tell you that. You
Oh, I
know.
do. Okay.
Oh yeah, and when I go to the gym, a lot of guys I talk to, work out with, I train guys. You put in your YouTube there, your
All
YouTube,
right, well,
Instagram there. Yeah, you're like,
tell him
yeah,
Mark Mcilyar says hi from Texas. And
you were the,
one of my favorite people in the world, a guy that I look up to is a Canadian named Jordan Peterson.
okay.
I
Jordan
don't know if
Peterson.
do you know who he is?
It doesn't ring a bell right now.
Famous. He's a psychologist. He was a professor, and I think he was in Toronto. And he's world renowned. I mean, he's probably one of the most sought after speakers in the world for the last few years.
Okay.
So you need to get on YouTube or Google
Check it out. I'll check it out. Yeah, Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Brilliant, brilliant guy. Love him.
Okay.
So and
So it'd
he's
be nice if you came to Toronto and I'm sure you get a sold out audience. But definitely, you've been a big item here. Like you're known. You're known. Your nickname is you're in Toronto. You're gonna laugh. We call you the pumped up George Bush.
Bush.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, look, I've been stopped at least 1,000 times by total strangers saying I look like President Bush.
Well, just a bit of not too much of the accent, a little bit, but he's got a different accent than yours. But just the look a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, people have missed. Now this was 25 years ago when he was governor of Texas before
Yeah.
he was president. I lived in Austin, the same city where the governor lives. And so I'd be out on the town, going to restaurants, bars, stuff like that. And people thought I was the governor.
The governor, really? So you get that all the time. That's so funny.
Yeah, little old ladies would come up to me and hug me. And oh, it was fun.
What made you decide to move to Texas? I mean, you moved here what 2 years ago?
No, no, no. I've been in Texas the whole time. I just moved cities.
Oh, cities. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I was in Austin, Texas for 35 years.
Okay,
And I moved back to Dallas, Texas, which is where I grew up.
okay. So what made you decide to come back to your hometown?
Mom is still alive. She's 87 and she needs some help.
Yeah, like
And
my mom. I take care of my
yeah,
mom here. Yeah, good for
yeah,
you. Good for you.
my brother's here. My brother and I are good buddies. He's hilarious. And it's fun I see my brother every week now as opposed to 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh, it's nice.
And then also tons of my buddies growing up or here in Dallas, really. And so and I work from home.
Great.
So, I can do this anywhere.
I see you got your little dog there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
My
cute.
brother's see, I got a lab. He's wonderful. He just sits down and sleeps. This little thing that I'm babysitting, she just walks in circles, just bugs
Oh,
the
wow.
hell.
Oh, it's so
But
cute.
today's the last day.
This is good. So, like, do you get a lot of Canadian clientele going to your program, like from Cap GHC? A big difference?
No, no, say that again.
Oh, sorry. Do you get a lot of Canadian clientele hooking up with your
Oh,
program?
okay. So I don't know necessarily,
Hmm.
but because I don't know. My boss, the CEO, may know the demographics from country to country.
Okay.
The only thing I know is I run our Facebook group, and we have over 21,000 men in our Facebook group, and I'm the administrator, so I'm in there every day answering questions,
Okay, good.
and I can look at the statistics where all these 21,000 members are located, and it'll break it down by country and city.
So what cities would you say the most out of all the states do you get a lot of the clientele?
Where one of the of course the United States is going to have the most members, right?
Yeah,
But one of the cities that has the most number of members worldwide,
yeah.
Sydney, Australia.
Really? Sydney, Australia. Wow.
Tons, tons of people in Australia, even New Zealand,
Yeah.
um, know me from over the years and have bought my programs. I just did a Zoom interview earlier this week with a Kiwi from New Zealand.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Have
And
you
it's
been over there yourself?
I've never been there. I would love to go.
That's so funny because you get all this clientele from different countries, but I'm just kind of
Oh,
curious. As my next question, have you done touring yourself?
have I done touring?
Yeah, like touring with your program and your
No, it would be fun, but that's expensive.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just thinking you had a big fan base in Toronto and
Yeah.
like
Well, what happens is, these young guys that kind of build a big following. what happens is they go to work for these big international companies like Gymshark. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yep, I heard, yep.
They make apparel and they're in the UK. Well, they do fitness expos around the world.
Okay, yeah.
So Gymshark will set up a booth at a fitness show in Australia. Typically it revolves around a bodybuilding competition. And so they'll send some of their people who represent their products, these young kids that are kind of big names. But the thing is, it's a young man's deal. You don't see millions and millions of 50 and 60-year-olds on Instagram and TikTok looking for my videos.
Yeah.
It's that's those are teenagers up to upper 20s, early 30s, and then it kind of dies off real quick. And that's why all their representatives that rep their products are all in their 20s.
Have they asked you to like come to Australia and wear the uniform, their outfits, and and
Well, I don't work for Gymshark.
no, I'm just saying, have they asked you to come as a guest? Like, have you had any people want to endorse you,
No,
wear
no,
their product and all
no,
that?
because the only people who would ask me would be people who are setting up booths,
Yeah.
and they would want the people who are repping their particular products or supplements to be in
Hmm.
their booth. And I rep Live Anabolic. I mean, I work for a small company, and we only focus on men over 40.
Okay, good.
So, that demographic that we advertise to, they're not the types that go to these expos.
No.
They're not the type to get on Instagram and see how many posts I've made, or
Yeah.
TikTok. These, you're one of the guys we would market to.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna
we
ask you.
have a hard enough time convincing people to go join our free Facebook group.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, they
Same,
don't join.
same thing, our YouTube channel, Live Anabolic,
Yeah, I've
YouTube.
got that. I got to say, yeah,
Yeah, I think we have 600,000
yeah,
subscribers now, which is pretty respectable. But these young guys, they got, a couple million,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and so anyway, that's just the nature of social media. It's not an old
That's
middle-aged
funny, man.
man's
Yeah. Let's got
dick.
about 4 minutes left. I want to topic subject you something close to my heart. You support what got the name of the title? Stop Soldier Suicide. I think I got it right.
Yeah.
You're a big supporter of that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been a big supporter of the military for a long
Yeah,
time. I've never
yeah,
served. Um, I've just had a lot of respect. That's where I've been donating a lot of my charitable donations over the years. The Fisher House was another
yeah.
group. They're kind of like the Ronald McDonald version for the military. Stop Soldier Suicide. I've done some fundraisers for a local guy here in Dallas. That's an ex-Navy SEAL named Ryan Parrott,
Mm-hmm.
like the bird. And matter of fact, his nickname is Birdman.
Birdman.
Not because of Parrot, but because he's got so many jumps skydiving. He's got like, I don't know, 9,000 jumps or
Oh
something
my
crazy.
God.
Yeah,
Uh,
crazy.
yeah. I was gonna ask you. I see some of your videos with the military guys. I saw the one
Yeah.
the other day. You I forgot the name. You gave a rifle to the guy.
Okay, so that's a close friend of mine. He's 30
Yeah,
years younger than me.
yeah.
I met him at the gym 7 years ago, and he is now a captain in the Marine Reserves. He's a
Okay.
CO now. He made CO about a year ago.
Wow.
And so we've stayed in touch over the years. We've done a lot of workouts. The two of us created a military workout program called Warrior Strong, and we shot it at a military base.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's his name is Austin Sullivan.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and total badass. I mean, he's just crazy ripped and jacked, and can run for
Well,
miles.
you're
And
kind
all.
of like you're like a badass yourself, right? You know.
Well, I'm an old badass,
But
maybe.
yeah, but still, even old man, guys our age, like working out looking like that, like you don't see that too often, but it's inspiration. I got 2 minutes left. I just want to
Yep.
say thank you so much, but I hope you come to Toronto. If you do, let me know.
Send me a plane ticket.
Uh, okay,
It's
I got
not.
my lottery ticket last tonight. If I win, I'm gonna hold you to that, you know. And I got a lot. I bet you get a lot of people want to interested to see what you're all about, you know, just to see in person.
All right. Well, I'm not coming in the winter.
No, no,
I
no,
got
no, no.
I got to wait until at least May before I come to
Oh no,
Toronto.
no. You gotta wait till at least June over in Toronto. It may still
Oh, okay. All
cold,
right.
you know. So thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're doing better. Please don't get any more
Yeah.
COVID. You know, no more
Yeah.
COVID. You know, no. I'm glad you're. I'm gonna go on your Facebook thing and sign up there. I got you subscribed to your YouTube channel and your other one there. And there's
Sounds
some.
great, man.
So I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show. Nice surprise to have you on, Lanier, and it's great. You look good. Got a yeah. My big
Thank
salute
you,
to you.
Phil.
Yeah. So to come back again, and when I get that ticket sent to you, we'll talk.
All right.
All right.
See you
Have a
tomorrow.
good weekend. Okay. Take
All right.
care.
You too.